So Matt and Steve, what is a dev portal and who is it for?
That's a good question. First and foremost, it's for application developers who want to use the APIs, they want to discover them, they want to be able to learn how to use them and be able to test them.
I see. So how does it benefit my business if I'm a customer?
So I think the value really lies here in the ability to be able to create that self-service onboarding for new consumers. So as a business, you can really scale your customer base, and it enables you to reach new audiences and create new revenue streams, really.
Okay, I see. That sounds great. So how do I get started using it and how can I customize it?
Well, the developer portal contains a lot of kind of predefined content. And it's got a nice drag and drop interface. Instead of me telling you, let's show you. So I'm going to go from the Azure portal, and I'm going to go and load up the developer portal. And you'll see when it loads, it's branded with the default content, which is the Contoso. Now we want to make that look like our Fabricam brand. And we're going to start by uploading some images from my local machine. Grab these nice images and these logos. And then we're going to make use of them on the page using the built-in editors. We're going to start with changing the background image to this nice car image. And then we're going to change the logo. There we go. And now we're going to use some of the built-in text editors to remove some of this text, because we're going to rely on the branding that we have from the logo. So we're going to get rid of this welcome to Contoso and then the subtitle. And then some of the built-in sections here we're going to remove because they're not relevant for us. It's also worth pointing out we could also add in new ones if we wanted as well. There we go. And then finally, we're just going to make a slight amendment to the text just to show that we can add and change things in that on that page. And then we'll save. And now we'll move over to the default template, which is the template that's going to be used for all our other pages. And we'll just change that logo. Save again. And then we're going to move on to our styling page. And the styling controls kind of all the things that make the look and feel of the page of all of our pages. And we're going to change some of these blues. I'm going to turn those into blacks just to bring it in line with that lovely car picture we had earlier. So we'll do that one and then that one. And one more. Save again. And now if we publish that page and jump back to our home page, we can see that those changes have been reflected straight away. And at this point, I've not had to write a single line of code to get to this stage.
All right, well, that was very interesting to see. And like you said, no code, right? So if I'm creating APIs, how do they show up in the portal and how do developers actually use them?
Okay, I can take this one. So to enable APIs to be consumed in the developer portal, API management supports this concept of a product. Products give API publishers the ability to bundle multiple APIs together. So taking a look at our demo here, we've defined a single product called Unlimited, and we've exposed it to the administrator and developer user groups. These are built-in user groups that come with API management, and the developer user group contains all of the API consumers that have created an account in the dev portal. And of course, I can create other custom user groups if I want to control the visibility of my APIs and products. So let's step into the product settings. We can see the product's already been published, but I can still make changes to it. So for example, I can choose to unpublish it, or I can decide whether a subscription is required to access the APIs, or maybe whether new subscription requests for that product need to be approved by an admin. I could also specify legal terms and conditions for all new subscriptions and enforce things like subscription count limits. So for example, each customer can only have one. So looking at this car accessories API, it's been added to the product called Unlimited, and we'd previously chosen that that product was only available to the admin and developer user groups, but not guests. So this means it's not currently visible to me as I'm not logged into the developer portal yet. So let's log in and see if we can see these APIs. Okay, so now that I'm logged in, I can actually now see this API reference page for the get accessories operation. So this page contains all of the information about the requests, the parameters, and the response parameters needed. And there's also a built-in test console that now allows me to interactively use and try out that API. Now, in this instance, we've actually secured the API with a JOT token. So to test it, I'm actually going to need to obtain a JOT token from an external provider, which we've already configured. So in this case, I'm going to use Auth0, and I'm just going to sign into my Google account. And what the test console is going to do is it's going to obtain that JOT key, and then it automatically puts it into the request headers for me. So there, it's in the headers, and now I can actually go and make a call to the API. And we can see that it returns a status code 200. What I can also do is get code examples for how to consume my API in many different languages, and this can help me build client applications from these examples. So now let's navigate over to the profile page. Here in my profile page, I can manage access to all of my products, my subscriptions, I can change my details and so on. And there's also a reports page, and it's a little empty right now, and that's because I haven't used the APIs, but it shows information about my API usage. So for example, all the APIs that I'm calling, how much data they've transferred, the response times I'm getting for those calls, and this aggregates across all of the products, the subscriptions, APIs, and operations that I've used.
All right, that sounds really interesting. So thank you so much for demonstrating that to us, and we'll go back to the studio now.